Barnaby Jones, a Quinn Martin production, starring Buddy Ebsen, also starring Lee Merriweather, Mark Sheriff, with guest stars Ed Power, Joan Pringle. Tonight's episode, The Deadly Valentine.
Thank you.
Thought you lost me, huh?
No, but I was beginning to wonder if something had happened.
Not a chance. Got your key?
Oh. You know, Pete, I still can't get used to the idea that I need a bodyguard.
It's a crying shame a nice girl like you has to put out good money for protection like this. You know, Miss Kelly, all I'd like to do is to get my hands on that creep. He's got to be a real sicko, you know? Okay in there. If you don't mind my saying, you keep the place real neat.
Thank you, Pete.
Well, everything looks A-okay, as usual. Now, you're gonna have yourself a real good night's sleep tonight, right, Miss Kelly?
That's something I'm really looking forward to, Pete.
Now, remember, if you need me, I'll be right outside my car.
Thank you, Pete, and good night.
Good night.
Thanks, sure. Now, what do you think?
Perfect? Perfect.
Yeah, Barnaby? What do you think?
Well, what?
The lamp.
I like any kind of a lamp with a 150-watt bulb in it.
You're some help. Come on, JR, you tell me.
Look, will you trust me? It's a terrific lamp, and it looks great there.
You really like the lamp that much?
I ought to. I gave it to you for Christmas.
Oh, come on. I was taking you seriously.
This time of night, the only thing to take seriously is a fond farewell. Come on, Jedediah. We got a heavy day tomorrow.
Oh, that's just swell. Right when I'm getting down to unwrapping the dishes.
Sorry, kid. Dishes is women's work.
I always knew it. Chauvinist. Oh.
Well, will you look at this? You know, with all these housewarming presents you're getting, you move every couple of months. You can make out like a bandit.
Right. Although I really haven't told that many people I was moving.
Well, you must have told somebody. Let's see what they got you here.
Oh.
A Valentine.
And it's not even Valentine's Day. Check the corridor.
Barnaby, I know what you're thinking, those awful headlines, but good heavens, there are a lot of stores that carry this shaped box all year round.
I'd feel a lot better if I knew who sent it.
Nothing. Street's clear, too.
You know, we're going to feel very foolish. Find out who this is from. How much do I love they let me count the ways.
I will very soon. Here next.
The lab boys are double-checking the candy box and the note.
Double checking. Just what does it take, John, to tell whether it came from the Valentine killer or not?
Barnaby, I'm as worried about Betty as you are. But There's just no way to be sure that pasted-up note is the same as the ones the killer sent his victims.
What about the candy?
Sold by the carload in every drug and dime store in the country.
These phone conversations. I don't find anywhere in this file that you managed to tape any of them.
No, we got into it too late each time. The first two victims, Doreen Lockwood, Elsie Barton, according to friends, both thought it was just somebody who had a crush on them from afar. Now, this one, Linda Kelly, didn't come to us until the killer had started sending her photographs of herself.
According to the newspapers, that's generally just before he strikes.
That's the pattern. First gift, then ugly phone calls, and more gifts. And finally, I guess, when he grows tired of the game, he sends them pictures. Shortly after that, he kills.
And doesn't leave any clues.
No. No, he may be nuts, but he's not dumb. No fingerprints. Even develops his own pictures. Not one lead.
Lieutenant?
Yeah.
Excuse me. This just came in. Hi, Mr. Jones.
Oh, hello, Will.
I just heard about Betty. She okay?
So far?
What is this, Sergeant?
Devonshire Division. They uncovered a woman's body in a shallow grave. Looks like she's been dead about a week.
Strangled?
No, it's not the Valentine killer. This lady's been stabbed several times. We're going to check her fingerprints for identification.
Well, stay with it. Bring me the coroner's report as soon as it comes in.
Yes, sir. Nice to see you, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Well, Barnaby, why don't you go on home and get some sleep?
You know, there's one thing about all this that doesn't seem to fit.
What's that?
It's timing. In each case, the killer waited 3 or 4 weeks before contacting his next victim. In Betty's case, he only waited 24 hours after killing Linda Kelly.
Could be he's getting overconfident.
Could be. I thought we agreed that you were going to stay home today.
That was last night.
Yeah, you know, something to do with a woman's right to change her mind.
And not letting herself get frightened into a corner by that Valentine maniac. I mean, Barnaby, if I hide at home, like a scared rabbit, I'm already his victim.
Is that your opinion too, Jedediah?
Don't look at me. You know Betty, she has a whim of iron.
And Barnaby, it is better if I stay here and keep busy instead of sitting home worrying.
All right. And JR, would you get that copy of the file that Lieutenant Biddle gave me?
Mm-hmm. Barnaby. There's somebody out there.
Wait a minute. It's all right.
Okay, pal, what are you doing out there?
It's all right, Jedediah. Come in, Will.
Thanks, Mr. Jones. Hello, Betty.
Will, what a surprise.
Will Gowan, Sergeant, LAPD.
I don't care if you're Friar Tuck of the L.A. Rams. You should not be lurking out there like a second story man. What's the matter with you?
This is my cousin, Jedediah Jones. We're a little nervous around here, Will. Sure you can understand.
Sure. I'm sorry. I should have let you know I was out there. Been much too long, Betty.
Give or take a year or so. What are you doing here, Will?
Oh, it's my job, lady. My job. I'm one of your new bodyguards.
My what?
How come?
Lieutenant Biddle got it straight from the chief. The department has no intention of letting Betty become the 4th victim.
That's ridiculous. I mean, I have Barnaby and JR to look after me. No offense, Will, but I mean, that's the last thing I need is to go tripping over a mob of bodyguards.
Don't worry. I'll stay out of your way. But orders are orders.
Well, since we have to put up with you, maybe you can help.
Any way I can.
Problem is that somebody has to go through this file and see if they can find a common denominator between these victims and Betty, which would point to the killer.
Well, before you go through that file, why don't you have Betty talk to Ellen Ashley?
Ashley, the roommate of the second victim, Doreen Lockwood?
Right. Now, her description was very vague, but it might trip something in Betty's mind.
Miss Ashley?
Mr. Jones.
Miss Ashley, this is Betty Jones.
Hello.
The next girl most likely to, huh? You take care of yourself, you hear?
Thanks. And I'd like to thank you for taking time out to talk to us.
Have you had a chance to think about what we spoke of on the phone?
It's no use, Mr. Jones. There's nothing more I can tell her about the Valentine case than I've already told the police.
Sometimes it's more helpful to hear the words instead of reading them in a police file.
Okay, but remember, it was dark, and I only caught a glimpse of the man.
In his late 30s, I believe you said.
Let's walk. I've got to get back. Could have been in his early 40s, over 6 foot and thin.
According to your statement, he was wearing nondescript clothes.
Dark pants, maybe blue jeans, a light-colored rain jacket, a hat. Oh, yeah, and crepe or thick rubber-soled shoes. Now, I remember that because he didn't make a sound when he walked on the hallway floor. It's made of tile.
Can you think of anything else? Anything at all?
Well, as I was going up the stairs to the apartment, I glanced around just as he was coming out the front door. Now, it seems to me he stooped a little bit, like he was lame in the right leg. That's it. That's all I can tell you.
One more long shot. Doreen and his last victim had one thing in common. They both worked in this general neighborhood. Now, did Doreen ever mention meeting someone who struck her as acting strangely?
No, not that kind of strange. But look, I sure hope they catch him before he...
Right. Thank you so much, Ellen.
Hi.
Hi.
How'd it go with the roommate?
Not too well, I'm afraid. At least nothing that she could remember rang any bells.
Did Barnaby come back with you?
No.
Oh, well, do you know when he's coming back? Because I worked out a terrific theory I wanna try on him.
Well, I don't know when he's coming back, but he did stop off at Lieutenant Biddle's for a meeting.
Oh, terrific. I can try it out on both of them. I'll see you later.
Bye-bye. You know, speaking of bells, it seems to me I heard the lunch bell. About 1:15, you know.
Oh, Will, I really have to get with this typing. I'll tell you what. You go on and take your time, and if you don't mind, bring me back a ham and Swiss, all right?
Wrong. I can't leave you alone.
All right. Bring us both back a couple of sandwiches. The deli's just down the street.
You come with me.
Will, I'll be all right. Listen, I'll lock the door right behind you.
I want to hear that door lock.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I heard it.
And hold the mayo. Barnaby Jones' office, may I help you?
Roses are red, violets are blue. All of my dreams are only for you.
Who is this?
The one who loves you, sends you presents, thinks only of you. You.
I've been waiting for your call.
Liar. You're like all the rest. Liars.
No, I'm not. I thought perhaps we could meet. Would you like that? Maybe we could meet, and I could prove to you that I'm not like all the others.
We'll meet, all right. Oh, yes, we will. Until then, I'll be watching you. Day and night. I'll be watching.
do you feel?
Awful. Really awful.
What did you leave her alone for? If I knew you were going to do a boneheaded thing like that, I never would have left.
You're right, it was boneheaded.
Now stop it, you two. Let's be fair. After all, it wasn't as though I was face to face with the man. Could have been calling from 100 miles away.
Mm-hmm, or 100 feet.
You're not going to get any brownie points for telling the man that you wanted to see him. We don't want to rile him up and cause him to hurry his schedule, now do we?
I know. It's just he made me so angry. I wanted to see him so I could hurt him. I mean, really hurt him. I've never felt things like that before.
I can understand how you feel, Betty. But next time you arrange to get yourself out on a limb that way, make sure one of us is around to catch you.
Okay, boss. What's next?
Well, Jedediah may have the answer to that. He was trying to explain a theory to me and Lieutenant Biddle when we got Will's call.
Yeah, well, it's something that hit me when I was checking the Valentine file. I noticed that 2 of the victims, Linda Kelly and Elsie Barton, didn't drive. They didn't own cars. They took the bus to and from their jobs.
Yeah, but Doreen Lockwood did own a car and she did drive. So what?
Well, the so what is that Doreen's car was in the shop being repaired for 3 days prior to her death.
So you feel that if Doreen took the bus for those 3 days, that's the common denominator?
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, but the Barton girl didn't work anywhere near Lafayette Park.
Even so, she and Linda Kelly took the same bus line, which is the same one that Doreen would have had to take, the Parkcrest line.
The park? Barnaby, when I was apartment hunting and I lent Marge my car, I rode on the Parkcrest bus a couple of times.
Betty, when you get back to the office, call the bus line, get the Parkcrest schedule, also the names of all the drivers who worked it. You and I are going to have another talk with Doreen's roommate. Come on.
What's the secret, Betty?
What?
I've been watching you look at Barnaby and JR. What does it take to put that kind of love in your eyes?
Oh, well, they're family.
So outsiders still don't stand a chance, huh?
I thought surely by now you'd given up on me.
So did I. But then all of this happened, and suddenly we're right back there again. I'm swinging, and you're ducking.
Well, as long as you wear velvet gloves, neither of us is going to get hurt.
Raise the arm. It's still not right. Loosen that one up. They're too rigid. I want a natural look.
Hello again, Miss Ashley.
Really, Mr. Jones, I thought we were finished. This display has to be ready by tonight.
Well, this will only take a moment of your time. This is my associate, Jedediah Jones.
Hi.
Hi. Lower the arm and fix the scar. I'm sorry, Mr. Jones. What did you want to know?
How about Doreen Lockwood? When her car was being repaired, did she take the bus to work?
No, she never took a bus.
Are you sure about that?
Positive. Doreen got uptight riding in crowds. It gave her claustrophobia, so she only took cabs. Would you excuse me a minute? Smooth out the sweater.
Well, that blows my great theory.
Not necessarily. Maybe we just picked the wrong ride.
What do you mean?
Didn't the file say that Linda Kelly took a cab home the night she was murdered?
Yeah, but that was out of the ordinary. Mostly she just took buses.
And can't we assume that the other victims occasionally took a cab?
Oh, yeah. We know Betty uses a cab. That could be the common denominator for all of them.
Pull the other one down. Yeah, right. Good. Good, that's much better.
Miss Ashley,
Double the chain. Okay.
when your roommate took these cabs to work in the morning,
No, Doreen never took a cab to work. A neighbor gave us rides in the morning.
well, then she just took cabs home.
And when she went shopping.
Well, how did she get these cabs? Did she call up or did she hail one?
Oh, I don't know. The only time we ever rode home together, we walked to a taxi stand.
Is that around here in the park area?
Yes, over by the south entrance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Come on, Jedediah.
Tighten the blouse.
Mr. Pearson, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you come in.
Oh, you look so busy. I didn't want to interrupt. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to frighten you.
Oh, that's all right. I'm just a little skitterish these days. What can I do for you?
I was hoping to see Barnaby.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's not in. Is it about the quarterly tax return?
Oh, no, nothing to do with that.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Well, I think something suspicious is going on in this building, and I thought Barnaby ought to know about it.
What do you mean, suspicious?
Betty, there's someone prowling around in our hallway, and this is not the first time I've spotted him. Good heavens, Betty!
He'll be all right. Just show me where he is.
Oh! It'll be all right. Come on. He was just down the hall. He's still there.
All right.
What's the matter? What's wrong?
It's all right. It's all right. It's just Mr. Pearson. He's Barnaby's tax consultant down the hall.
Then what are you doing with the gun?
Well, he thought you looked suspicious out there.
You two know each other.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Pearson. This is Sergeant Gow, LAPD. He knows I can't stand cigars, so he goes outside to smoke. I just forgot he was in the hall. I'm sorry.
With all these guns around, no wonder people are always shooting each other.
Betty, I'll give up cigars, you give up the gun, huh?
Oh, well, this is really beginning to get to me.
Okay, Charlie. Pick up passenger at the corner of Broadway and 3rd. And pronto, Tonto, the lady's pregnant. Walt, the tow truck's on its way. Now, the rest of you guys, I'm taking a break, so bug off for a while. Unless it's emergency. Sorry, gentlemen. I guess I could say you picked a bad time, but it's always like this. Where were we?
You were telling us about the cab stand at Lafayette and 8th.
Oh, yeah, it always gets a lot of action. Most of the drivers like to work there because there's a lot of short trips.
Well, how many drivers would you say service that stand?
Oh, about 12 to 14 operate out of there regular. Yeah, there's a roster we used last week.
Well, we're looking for a driver who's about 40. He's tall and thin. He walks with a limp. Anybody on this list fit that description?
Man, they come and go in this outfit. I just know their names.
You mind if we keep this list?
No, I got copies.
Hey, Barnaby.
Driver right there by the gas pump.
Why don't somebody clean this heap? Oh, that's Ed Wilson. His name's on that list. But he's kind of a gypsy. He operates out of Lafayette Park one day, then Union Station the next.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Collins. You've been a big help.
Always glad to oblige.
Well, are we just gonna let him get away?
Yeah. So we're sure he's the right man.
Which one's yours?
Oh, the little red one over here.
Okay, I'm across the street. You can drive me to my car. Then I'll follow you home.
Well, it's really not necessary.
We'll do it my way, okay?
Yes, sir. Will.
Don't touch it. We will be together soon, my darling.
Mr. Jones, if that display isn't finished.
Bear with us just a little bit longer, Miss Ashley.
Yeah, just think what it would mean if one of those drivers was the guy in the hallway.
Here comes another one. Is that the man you saw, Miss Ashley?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Could it be him?
It could be him. He's tall enough. I mean, I'd like to say yes, but I can't. I just can't.
Well, thank you for trying.
Well, here goes our last chance.
I'm not so sure. Is there an address for Wilson on that registry?
Yep, right there.
All right. Let's go have a look around.
Still moving in, as you can see.
I promise not to notice. It's a great apartment, Betty. What a beautiful view.
For looking out or looking in. The drapes were supposed to be delivered this morning. I wonder what happened to them.
I can speak to the manager on the way out if you like.
I wonder how many people are watching me right now. I wonder if he is.
Betty, don't.
I have the strangest feeling his eyes are on me right now. That he watches me all the time.
That's enough.
Why me? Why? What did I do to attract him? And how does he know what I'm doing and where I'm going?
Betty, I told you to forget it. Now, you're in your own home. You're being guarded 24 hours a day. He can't touch you.
I thought...
I've got to make my call into the office. I want you to go and take a nice hot bath.
Oh, I don't think I could.
Listen, I promise you, I won't leave until my replacement arrives, okay? Now, you go on and do it.
All right, maybe a hot bath would help.
Yeah, this is going. Let me speak to Murdoch, please. Ed, we're back at the apartment now. Okay, when? Okay, you tell him I'll wait for him here. Yeah. Bye-bye. Relief is on his way. Sergeant Bonner.
Well, I'm going to take my bath now. And just in case you're gone when I come. I just wanted to thank you for everything. Oh, please.
Okay. I'll go speak to your manager about your drapes.
Thank you.
I'll wait for Bonner downstairs in the lobby. You lock the door after me. Bye.
Thank you.
This is it. All right, what are we looking for?
We won't know till we find it. Get it, Diane.
This is it.
Better call Lieutenant Biddle. Drop it! Drop it right now.
Hello?
Betty, it's all over.
What?
Valentine killer. They've got him in custody. Lieutenant Biddle is booking him now.
Oh, Barnaby, are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure. He confessed to the 3 killings. Betty, it's really over.
I just can't believe it.
Tell her we ought to celebrate.
Tell him I heard that. And I'm on.
Get all dressed up. We'll all go out to dinner. How's that sound?
That's terrific. Only hurry, all right?
We're on our way.
Listen, Barnaby, tell JR that I...
Sorry I'm not who you expected, Betty. But I'm not jealous. Because soon I'll be the only man in your life. Watch for me. I'm very close.
If it's not out already, I'll see what I can do to keep it under wraps.
Good.
John, does Will know anything about all this?
Well, Lieutenant, if he does, you better tell him to cool it.
Will? Will Gowan?
You assign him to guard Betty.
No. I never gave Gowan that detail. He's supposed to have the week off. I assigned Sergeant Taylor to the first shift. It's Lieutenant Biddle. Talk to Sergeant Taylor, please.
Betty, what happened between you and Will last year?
We dated a few times. He was fun. I enjoyed his company. He just got too serious too soon. That's all. And I broke it off.
Taylor, tell PR to be sure to keep Wilson's arrest under wraps. And Taylor, who shifted around the duty roster? Well, why doesn't somebody tell me these things? All right, anything else? Yeah? How long ago? Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll be right there. Well, we just got an ID on that dead woman we found in Devonshire. Mary Alice Watkins, no address.
What about Will Gowan?
He traded duty with Sergeant Taylor. He wanted it, for personal reasons. Betty will round up a couple of men to keep an eye on you.
It won't be necessary. Jedediah and I'll take the duty tonight.
I guess that'll be all right. I'll check with you later.
What's wrong, Betty?
I was just trying to remember where I heard that name before.
What name?
Mary Alice Watkins. It's really familiar.
How come?
I don't know. Mary Alice Watkins. I wrote it down. I did. I wrote it down in your appointment book about, it has to be 2 weeks ago. I just can't remember why. I'm just hoping that there's some clue as to why I made the notation in the first place. Oh, no.
How did he get in to put that there?
When does it stop?
Take it easy, Betty. Remember why we're here.
There are pages missing.
A whole week missing. From 22nd to 29th of last month. Must have been when J.R. and I were up at Coverton.
That's right. Well, you wouldn't have had any appointments at that time anyway.
Well, then why did you write down Mary Alice Watkins?
I wrote it down for Henry Pearson.
Our accountant down the hall?
Yes. He came in looking for you. He had had a fight with his girlfriend, and he was positive that she had run off with another man, and he wanted you to look for them.
Henry Pearson?
What did you tell him?
Well, I said you didn't handle those kind of investigations, and that seemed to upset him. So I wrote down her name and told him that I would mention it to you when you got back.
I don't recall that.
Well, that's because the next morning he came in and was very apologetic and said that he had made up with his girl and for me to forget about it.
Barnaby, what do you think?
I think it's time to talk to Mr. Pearson.
You're right, I'll go with you.
I don't want you to stay here. I don't want Betty left alone.
Hey, Mr. Jones, didn't know you were working late tonight.
Well, you know how it is. Mr. Pearson said he had some papers for me to sign.
Well, Mr. Pearson left about 10 minutes ago. Said he was going out to get a bite to eat.
Sounds like he'll be back. I'll wait for him.
Sure, you do that. If I see him, I'll tell him you're here.
Thanks, Joe.
GR, I think there's some clean cups on top of my filing cabinet.
I'll get it.
Thanks, honey. Oh, JR, if they're not on top of the cabinet, look on the low table. JR, what are you doing? JR? Honey, what are you doing? JR! Oh. Oh. Stop it.
Hold it! Stay back! Oh, kill her on the spot.
Put that away, Henry. You don't want to hurt Betty.
Mr. Pearson, please.
Shut up! She knows too much. She's the only one who knew.
that Mary Alice Watkins was your girl, and you killed her.
She deserved it. A lying little tramp. No one had to know about Mary and me, but I made the mistake of killing Betty.
And that's why you pretended to be the Valentine killer to terrify Betty.
I had to erase it from her mind. Kill her, in case they found Mary and connected me to her murder.
But now it's too late. We all know.
And then I'll have to kill you all. They'll think it was that Valentine man.
But the police have him in custody. It won't work. Give it up, Henry.
No. I've got to get out of here.
Well, go. Leave Betty here.
No. I need a head start. She's coming with me.
Don't do it, Henry.
Stay back. Don't try to stop us or I'll kill her. I'll lay you. Open it. Stay back.
Pearson's taking Betty. We can't let him get out of the building. You all right?
I'm fine. Let's go.
Take a stare. Joe, that's an emergency. Open his box. Come on, Joe. Don't fumble now. Count 10. Turn the power back on.
Where'd we stop? They pulled some trick.
Mr. Pearson, these old pillies. Everything's breaking down all the time, you know that.
A trick. It's a trick. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
With love, Barnaby. Oh, thank you, kind sir.
Barnaby?
Affectionately, Will. Thank you, kind sir.
Thank you.
And I wonder what this is from. Love and kisses, J.R. Well, I'll tell you the truth, gentlemen. I love you all. But I honestly don't know what this is all about. I mean, the next thing I have to celebrate is my birthday, which is about 6 months away.
It was Barnaby's idea, and I think it was a good one, don't you?
I think it was a terrific idea to get your mind off all those dumb Valentine presents, you know.
Oh, I get it. Sort of the hair of the dog that bit me, is that it?
Sort of.
Well, I'll tell you, fellas, you really didn't have to worry about me at all. I mean, it's amazing how quickly a gal can get over being frightened of receiving gifts, especially when they're from 3 super fellas.
Well, I don't know about the leisure class, but I have to get to work.
Oh.
Well, before you go, I have a confession to make.
Wait a minute. If it has to do with why you got suspicious about my pressing for the job of protecting Betty, you don't have to say anything. Lieutenant Biddle already spoke to me.
Fear makes people do funny things. You forgive us?
Sure. If you'll have dinner with me tomorrow night.
Well, if you make it lunch, it's a date.
Still ducking, huh? Well, I'll still be in there swinging. Goodbye.
Well, gentlemen, I want to tell you that I have a surprise for you. I'm going to pick up the check.
I don't believe it. You were right.
Right about what?
Well, I had a hunch that you may try to repay us for helping you move.
So he paid the check in advance.
To a lot of happiness in your new apartment.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Barnaby Jones, a Quinn Martin production, starring Buddy Ebsen. Also starring Lee Merriweather, Mark Sheriff, with guest stars Mary Ann Chin, Ray Danton, Brian Montgomery, Andy Jarrell, Quinn Redeker. Special guest star Cassie Yates. Tonight's episode, Duet for Danger.
Okay, girls, that's great. Now let's rehearse the costume change. You've got to do it in 3 minutes, so move it.
Well, could you hear us back there?
Yeah, but I don't think it'll bother anybody.
So what'd you ever direct? The roller derby? Well, come on, Carly. It's obvious she's tone deaf. That cow. One of these days, I'm going to forget what Mama taught us about being ladies.
I know what you mean.
What are you looking at, you creep?
Damn it! The idea is to keep that guard busy for 5 minutes, not to go scaring them off.
Like we've been telling you, Maxine, honey, your ideas and our ideas do not coincide.
There is no more time for your lip. Floyd's been out there too long. Somebody will spot the car.
You do not seem to understand, Maxine. We do not want to spoil our chances for parole. Besides, we got our careers to think of, right?
Your careers? You're in for murder.
Manslaughter, and it wasn't really our fault, right? Right.
You don't do like I told you. You'll need a plastic surgeon to put you together again. If he can find all the pieces. Understand?
What's going on in there?
Please, it's my sister. She didn't feel well.
What's wrong with her?
Well, I'm sure it's nothing that a little fresh air wouldn't cure.
Fresh air?
I'll take care of her. You stay here.
Oh, my, I feel better already.
Still feel weak to me.
No, that's better.
You know, I've been watching you, Pearl.
I know.
I don't mean that. See, you ain't like the rest of these barracuda in here.
An opening act, that's all you'll ever be.
gonna think we're in on this. What are we gonna do?
Do you remember what Mama used to say about being hung as a sheep for a lamb? Well, I think that's what she had in mind. Let's get out of here.
Is that you girls?
Sure is.
Hey, where's Maxine and Angel?
The guard spotted us. We had to split up.
They're waiting up there at the north corner of the fence.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Looky here.
You know, I do believe that fate provides for artists in mysterious ways. You drive. Okay.
Now, let me get this straight, Miss
Wells, Mr. Jones. Mary Beth Wells?
Miss Wells. You say that you were rehearsing for your wedding last night, and the young man that you were to marry mysteriously disappeared.
Just like that, Mr. Jones. We were standing in this little room at the church waiting for the minister when all of a sudden he looked out the window and saw a young lady standing in front of the sunrise.
I thought you said it was night.
Oh, that's the name of his van. He calls it that because it has a picture of a sunrise painted on the side.
Sounds logical.
Well, anyway, he told me that maybe she was trying to steal something, so he went out to investigate. When he didn't come back after a few minutes, I went out to see if anything was wrong. Well, the young lady was gone, but then so was my fiancé and the sunrise.
Did you try calling a young man at home?
Well, he lives in his van, but I went to where he keeps it parked, the Canyon trailer spot on Ventura. I waited there half the night, but he never showed up. He wasn't there this morning either.
You know, Miss Wells, it's kind of a sad truth, but sometimes a young fella gets cold feet right before the big day.
I thought about that, Mr. Jones. I can't believe that that's the case here. It was Lester's idea to get married in the first place.
Lester who?
Lester Gibson. You remember him, don't you, Mr. Jones?
Yes, I do.
Well, that's why I came to you. Lester told me how you helped him out of that trouble with those two singers a while back.
Betty,
Yeah?
we still have this morning's paper?
Mm-hmm.
Would you bring it in, please? Miss Wells, are you sure you didn't see two young ladies standing in front of Lester's van?
Here you are, Barnaby.
No, just one. Why?
Well, the two singers that Lester was involved with, the Starshine sisters, escaped from prison last night. Either of these two look like the one you saw?
Well, I don't know. It was pretty dark.
Barnaby, do you think those two girls have Lester?
Jedediah, where the Starshine sisters are involved, the possibilities boggle the mind.
Pearl, why do I have this strange feeling that it was a mistake to go to Lester for help?
At least we're not still driving around in a stolen car.
That's right, only now we're just stranded on the side of a dusty old road.
Lester should be back with that tire in a minute now.
I don't know, Pearl. Sometimes I wish we never left Macon.
Ruby. Ruby, honey, don't you ever talk like that. We got a dream. And that is what makes us different. We're going to go to Culverton, look up Johnny Blue. And, honey, it is straight on to Nashville.
Pearl, you got that look in your eye? You've been struck by a spear of inspiration, I can tell.
Ruby, I got it.
What?
The Dream Makers. Pearl and Ruby Connors, the Dream Makers.
I love it! You're a genius, Pearl.
Lester! Lester, guess what?
I just thought of a new name for the app. The Dream Makers. What do you think?
I think maybe I shouldn't be helping you.
Why not?
Why not? Last time I saw you, you burnt down my trailer. Tried to frame me for something you did.
But you got this beautiful new van with insurance. And even had a little left over.
And I nearly got thrown in jail with you.
Lester Gibson. I told you they put us in jail by mistake. And that's why they let us out on a technicality.
I don't know. Mary Beth will be worried.
Not one young lady, two.
Two. Miss Wells said she only saw one.
Well, maybe that's because the other one was standing near the back of the van. I remember they attracted my attention because they were both wearing raincoats. And it wasn't raining.
Yeah, that would be an attention getter.
Reverend, would you mind taking a look at this picture? Are those the two young ladies that you saw?
Oh, heavens, no. These girls are, well, obviously used to harder times. Well, the girls last night were innocents. Yes, sweet innocents. Why, one of them even came into the church and placed some bills in the contribution box.
Reverend, do you mind if I have a look?
Well, no.
$0.35, Barnaby.
What? 35 cents? Why, there should be $20 or $30 in there.
If it's any consolation to you, Reverend, you're not the first to have been taken in by Sweet Innocents or the Starshine Sisters. Miss Wells, did Lester have any credit cards?
Just one, to buy gas, as I remember.
All right, I'll get the name of the company and have Betty start checking it out.
Well, Reverend, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Thank you.
A little bit more wine, Pearl.
Twist my arm, Lester.
Wonder how Mary Beth is now.
Lester, must we discuss your old flames over lunch? You know how I am when that green-eyed monster gets the best of me.
Then what about that Johnny Blue? That's all you ever talk about.
I told you, he's just an old friend of ours.
We grew up together in Macon, Lester.
Yeah, and he said if we ever needed any money to come see him. Well, this may come as a surprise to you, Lester, but that is exactly what we need. Now, would you kindly pay the check?
$52.71?
Well, pay it.
Pay it? I only have $8 to my name. You told me you had some money.
Yes, but not that much. Besides, we had to pay for these dresses and wigs, didn't we? Lester, I think you better get the Sunrise ready to pick us up. Don't ask, just do it.
Pink ladies for the ladies.
Oh, I didn't believe we ordered any drinks, did we, honey?
Compliments of the house. My name is Stan Tolan. I own this place. Linus and San Leone.
Very nice. My name is Abigail Dubois, and this is my sister Cornelia.
How are you? May I join you?
Of course not. That's why we sent our little brother out to play.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What's wrong, Cornelia, honey? Something wrong? What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?
Okay. Oh, it looks like it just must have went down the wrong way. Maybe if I took her outside to get some fresh air.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Duffy's here. Could you get us a glass of water, Mr. Tolan? Room temperature, please.
A glass of water, room temperature.
It's gonna be all right. Oh, honey,
Come back here! You won't get away with this!
I got the license number, Mr. Tolan. Also the credit card number.
I'll get him. Don't worry. I'll get him.
You look great. Your hair grew out.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Prettier than ever, man. Hey, I thought over the phone you said there were 3 of you. Lester somebody.
Oh, we left him in town at the laundromat. That's his van.
Johnny, we need money.
Well, I didn't think you came all the way to Culverton for the nightlife. How much?
5,000, maybe a little more.
5,000?
Johnny, we need it for our new act, The Dream Makers.
The Dream Makers? Whatever happened to the Starshine Sisters?
Well, that was before I was struck with the spear of inspiration.
You mean, that was before you busted out of jail? We got the papers down here in Culverton, too, you know. Hey, come on now, come on. Let me see them pretty smiles. Come on now. You can trust old Johnny Blue. You know, I never did think you was guilty in the first place.
Then you'll help us, Johnny?
Why do you need so much?
Because we cannot walk into Nashville with our hats in our hands.
Not the Dream Makers, Johnny. We need a big car, maybe a chauffeur, you know, a big fancy hotel room, and lots of flashy clothes so the record people will stand up and take notice.
Right.
What do you say, Johnny?
You're still dealing, aren't you, Johnny?
Yeah, honey, but this isn't Las Vegas. It's just a small backroom casino.
But it could work.
Yeah? But you're gonna need a stake.
How much?
Well, you're gonna need 1,000 for show. Now, how much you got?
$20 in a St. Christopher medal.
And the sunrise.
Oh, come on, Pearl. Lester wouldn't sell Sunrise in a million years.
He doesn't have to.
You're gonna need the pink slip.
He keeps it hidden under the dash. All I have to do is sign his name.
Pearl, he's been awful nice to us.
Ruby, we can pay him back afterwards from our winnings, plus interest. Mama always said one good turn deserves another.
That's him, all right. They must have been wearing wigs, but I'd recognize those faces anywhere. That's Abigail, and that's her sister, Cornelia.
Abigail and Cornelia?
Yeah, Dubois. Why, you mean that's not their real names?
Somewhat like the proverbial rose, the Starshine Sisters, by any other name, will still steal your wallet. Did they say where they were headed?
No. You know something? With those 2 chicks, if they had told me they were broke, I would have given them the stakes, thrown in a bottle of champagne.
That would have spoiled all their fun.
Barnaby.
What'd you find out in the filling station?
Nothing, but Miss Trudy certainly told me a lie.
Miss Trudy?
Yeah, she owns the boutique across the way. The station attendant saw the 2 girls go in there. Anyway, Miss Trudy said that they looked at a few wigs and some dresses, finally settled on a pair of lace handkerchiefs. Said they didn't want to leave without buying anything.
Did Miss Trudy check her inventory afterward?
No, not until I just asked her to. She says she thinks she's short some dresses and some shoes, and she's positive that 2 wigs and 2 handbags are missing.
Well, I hope she made a sufficient profit from the handkerchiefs.
Oh, actually, Barnaby, she did more than that. She overheard them talking in the dressing room about where they were headed.
Where are they headed?
Culverton.
I know they're in here. A guy in the parking lot told me he saw them come in.
Well, you see them?
If I saw them, would I be asking you if you'd seen them?
Well, if you didn't see them, and I didn't see them, what do you want me to tell you?
That's him at the bar, Nick.
I'm not leaving till I find them.
Now, look, I've had just about enough.
Hey, Joe, that's no way to treat a new customer, huh? My name's Nick DeMarco. I own this place. I understand you're looking for a couple of young ladies, right?
You bet I am, and I know they're here.
Well, maybe you're right, Mr.
Gibson. Lester Gibson.
Okay, let's take a look.
Heavens, if it isn't that little black clover and the one-eyed gentleman again. And look at you, Ruby.
5'4", and a lady, and I do believe that's the name of the game.
Hey. These your lady friends?
They sure are.
Your luck's still holding, Mr. DeMarco.
I have a feeling it's just about to run out, along with Johnny Blues.
Here you go. Buy yourself a yacht.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pearl.
Lester, we've been looking everywhere for you.
Why don't you try the laundromat? Where's my van?
Oh, Lester, please, my ear.
Where's my van?
Please hold it.
You sold the Sunrise?
Well, it's not as if I'm a complete stranger to you. Besides, we got $1,500 for it.
I paid $3,000.
We'll give you 4. We are winning, Lester. B-I-G.
That means big, Lester.
Ladies, place your bets, please.
Pearl? Ruby, as Mama used to say, you cannot expect a bountiful harvest without risking a few seeds.
I think their luck just ran out.
Boss wants you to take a break, Johnny.
On the other hand, there's that story about the birds and bush.
Stop. No. Let him cash in. It looks good for the house.
$8,550. Tomorrow, maybe we can try to buy back the Sunrise.
Lester, Ruby and me kind of had something else in mind.
Like what?
Like, how would you feel about being a chauffeur for just the littlest while? Pearl?
Girl, I think you have something that belongs to me.
Run, Lester!
Get him! Girls, the fun is now over.
Oh, please don't hurt him.
What do we do with her, Nick?
Take them out to the place. Nice-looking girls, eh, Mary? But what makes you think they were in here?
Couple of reasons. Number one, we checked every other place in town, and the other one is your sign out front says live entertainment. We thought they may have come in here looking for a job.
Let me take another look at that picture, would you?
There's a good chance they might have been wearing wigs.
You know something? They were in here asking about a job. Yesterday evening sometime, I told them we didn't have anything, and I sent them away.
They have a young fellow with them?
No, they were alone.
Did you say where they were staying?
It was during the dinner hour. I must have talked to them for all of 30 seconds.
Did they have talked to anyone else in here?
No, they just asked for a job, then they split.
Well, thank you very much for your help.
Anytime. I'd offer you a drink, but we're closed now.
Well, that's all right. I've already had my milk.
Barnaby, if they just drove on last night, they could be 500 miles from here.
It's possible, but I don't think they'd come to Coverton just to perform at the Hideaway.
Barnaby, look at that.
What do you think?
Not a Rembrandt, but I'd say it's a sunrise.
No need to look any farther. That van is you, or my name's not Smiley Oldswanger, largest used car dealer in Culverton, California.
Oh, that's quite a name. Mind if I just call you Smiley?
Mister, you can call me anything but late for dinner.
My name's Barnaby Jones. I'm a private investigator. This is my associate, Jedediah Jones.
Hi there, Smiley.
What can I do for you?
This van here, did that used to belong to a fellow named Lester Gibson?
Yeah? Why?
When did he come in, do you know?
He didn't. His wife bought it in yesterday.
His wife?
Pretty little thing. Came in with her sister. But he had signed the pink slip, so everything was on the up and up.
Did she say where her husband was?
Oh, in some hospital. That's why they needed the money in a hurry, so he could have open heart surgery.
Did she give you an address where they were staying?
She said they moved around a lot.
What time of day was it?
Around 4:30.
Well, that would mean they came here before they went to the hideaway.
The hideaway? If they went there, I sure bet they didn't have much money left over for the operation.
What do you mean?
Nick DeMarco runs a little casino in the back room.
Oh, he didn't tell us about that. Well, thank you very much, Smiley.
Pleasure.
You know, Barnaby, I cannot believe that Lester would let them sell his van, not for gambling money.
Jedediah, you realize that Lester hasn't been seen since yesterday afternoon?
Mm-hmm. That's what's got me worried, too.
Lester, we're sorry we got you into this. But if we ever get out of here, we're going to make it up to you by letting you be our manager. Any ideas?
Well, what are we going to do with you?
Would you like some suggestions?
You shut up.
I think we ought to make an example of them, Nick.
That's a good idea. Take them out in the desert and waste them. Be a lesson to anyone else who's even thinking of trying the same sort of thing. Or we could give them another chance.
I like that idea best.
I understand you two girls are singers.
Would you like for us to sing for you?
Not especially, but I have to admit I kind of admire your style and your guts. So I'll tell you what. You do something for me, and maybe I'll do something for you. Like letting you live.
All of it?
If you come through.
What'd you have in mind?
Just a little poker game between Johnny Blue here and Ben Kingston.
Who's Ben Kingston?
One of the richest ranchers in the state, and a man who appreciates a good game of poker.
So why don't you just invite him to your club?
Well, I tried that once, and now he somehow doesn't quite trust my action. But he is a sucker for a pretty face, and that's where you two come in. So what do you say?
Given the choice, Mr. DeMarco, I'd say it's a whole lot better than being wasted.
Look, how many times must I have to tell you? I don't know what two girls you're talking about, and I don't know anything about a backroom club. Now, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I've got customers.
Not exactly a know-it-all, is he?
Barnaby, you're not going to believe this.
Lester?
Mr. Jones, what are you doing here?
Looking for you. Mary Beth was worried. She thought something happened.
Something did. I changed my mind about getting married, so I just took off.
Lester, we know about Ruby and Pearl.
Mr. DeMarco's waiting, Lester.
Yeah, I've got to be going, Mr. Jones. I'll call Mary Beth and explain everything. Nice to see you again, Mr. Jones.
Nick, that private detective's out there. He spotted Lester.
I didn't tell them anything.
Take him back to the place and keep him there. Well, Mr. Jones, what's up?
Would you mind explaining to me what Lester is doing here with you?
Lester? Oh, Lester. Well, what's there to explain? He works here.
Since when?
Since yesterday. He came in here looking for a job. He seemed like a bright young kid, so I hired him.
Why didn't you tell me that earlier?
Oh, you mean when you asked me if there was a young man with the two singers? Well, I didn't realize you meant Lester. I just sent him off on an errand. I don't know when he'll be back.
Mr. DeMarco, I don't understand everything that's going on around here. I need a little cooperation. Does the sheriff know that you're running this backroom casino?
Casino? Oh, you mean back there? Well, Mr. Jones, I really don't know who's been talking to you or what you think you know, but you're quite welcome to take a look. It's just a banquet room. There's no law against that, is there?
I don't need the country. Home-made dinners on Sunday. Talks with your little brother or your mother. Baby, won't send you no flowers. Sweet, talk you for hours. Love needs no disguises, just surprises. Baby, just one thing on my mind, a magical ride on a sweet sensation. Love can be so fine, and I got the time. Honey, let's not waste it. Some ladies will tease you, talk about how they please you. Spend your love and your money, ain't it funny? Baby, I don't need a nightlight, all its glitter and bright lights. I can't get satisfaction from distraction. Baby, just one thing on my mind, a magical ride on a sweet sensation. Love can be so fine, and I got the time. Honey, let's not waste it.
Thanks, folks, and remember, we're the Dream Makers.
You'll be hearing from us.
I bet we will
Well, what?
be hearing from you. Singing like that, how long are you going to be playing here?
Oh, well, that depends on management. That was just an audition arranged by a friend of ours.
Oh, well, I better talk to the management. They owe me a couple of favors. First, I'd like to buy you two a drink.
I'm sorry, we don't drink with strangers.
Oh, I'm no stranger. Name's Ben Kingston. I'm really just a country boy that happens to own a lot of the country. Come on, sit down.
But we can't, Mr. Kingston. We're cousin sitting.
With our cousin Willie, Aunt Meldie's boy from Macon.
Well, why don't we get him a milkshake or something? How's that?
Willie's 30,
Oh.
and he has this terrible disease. Aunt Meldie calls it the gambling fever.
It's not like he can't afford it, though. Do you know the Dubois family, Mr. Kingston?
Dubois?
The Dubois from Macon.
Sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, listen, I tell you what. Why don't you go look in on Cousin Willie? I'll wait for you down here. How's that?
I don't know. I mean, once Cousin Willie starts chewing your ear.
Uh-huh. You know, it sounds like I better go along with you just to give you an excuse to leave.
You wouldn't mind?
No, let me get my hat.
That's right. Number 4, big cowboy.
Cousin Willie, this is
Cousin Ruby, save the introductions for later, please. Now, you got that other king under there?
500 says I do.
1,000 says you don't. What have you got? Just a little old pair?
That's enough for me.
I thought you guys came to play. You know, a man just can't find any action around here. You don't play, do you, Mr.?
Kingston, Ben Kingston. Yeah, I've been known to sit in now and again.
Well, we got a couple empty chairs here.
And no, I promised your two good-looking cousins there to buy him a drink.
Well, you suit yourself.
Of course, we could have something sent up. We'll celebrate over dinner later.
Well, Pearl, I think Cousin Willie's fever is catching.
Mm-hmm. I do think we should call room service.
What are you selling? Much as you can buy.
Well, it doesn't look like Lester's coming back, Barnaby.
Why do I have that same feeling?
Maybe we should call the sheriff.
We got nothing to tell him until we know where Lester is. I think our best bet is to let DeMarco make the next move.
Barnaby.
And see where it leads us.
How's it going?
Perfect. Johnny let Kingston win for a while, till the stakes went up. Now Kingston can't figure out why his luck's gone sour.
And the girls?
If I didn't know better, I think they did this kind of work before.
Wish we could get a closer look.
No way, Jedediah. She came from over there.
Okay, I'll go take a look.
And Jedediah. Until we find Lester, they hold all the cards.
Okay.
I'd better get back.
Hey, congratulations. I hear you did a real great job. Let me buy you a drink, huh?
Oh, no, thanks. I think we'll be on our way.
Now, this is just the beginning.
Beginning of what?
Ruby, there are suckers like Kingston all over the place, and I don't just mean Culverton. I'm talking about Vegas, Monte Carlo, the gambling capitals of the world. We are a team.
Oh, no, I'm already a team, the Dreammakers, and all I want to do is get out of here, go to Nashville, and record our music.
I'm not asking you what you want. I'm telling you what you're going to do.
And if I don't?
Then Lester gets it. And after Lester, the Dreammakers. Now, I think you better go. Partner.
Who is it? Ruby.
Yes. Where's your 200?
Ruby just went in there, Barnaby.
Could you see what's inside?
No, but it sounded like there's a card game going on in there.
Oh, waiter. How'd you like to take the day off and go fishing?
Well, I've had bad luck in the past, but this is changing the meaning of the words.
There you go, 10,000.
This gets any worse, I'm gonna be playing on my credit cards.
Room service.
Ice cream, sodas.
I hope you're all having a nice day. Where shall I put you, sir?
Here,
Right here.
Anybody in trouble?
Yeah, Lester is. They're holding him.
What's going on over here?
Well, actually, sir, I was looking for a place to put these sodas.
I know you. You're the guy with that detective.
Detective?
Yeah.
What's a detective doing in here?
Oh, you idiot.
I'm so sorry. Wow.
Johnny, get out of here while you got the chance.
I don't know you are. Wait a minute before you go.
Hold it, ladies. Hold it.
Mr. Jones, boy, are we glad to see you.
Where's Lester?
Mr. Jones, you gotta help him. They said they'd kill him if anything went wrong.
Barnaby. We better get out of here.
Where are they holding Lester?
Probably up at the barn. I'll give you directions.
I got a better idea. You take us to him.
I was supposed to get married today.
You want my opinion? You're better off.
Who is it?
Ruby, I got a message from Nick.
What is it?
You're fired. Tie him up.
Poor little baby.
Thought I was a goner there for a while.
You ain't out of the woods yet, Lester.
We've got company.
What now, boss?
Question is, why would they go to all this trouble just for Lester?
Jones, all I want is the money from the game. Nobody gets hurt.
Money? You don't know anything about any money.
Pearl, you didn't. Rio, it seemed like such a waste, Ruby. You remember what Mom always said about waste not?
Want not, I know.
Jones, I'm giving you one more chance. Throw that money out.
What about Lester and the girl?
Nobody gets hurt. As long as I get what's mine.
All right, I'm opening the door and throwing the money out.
Barnaby, they'll never let us go. They know we're gonna head right for the sheriff.
With that kind of deduction, Jedediah, you should graduate that law school with straight A's.
I'll cover you.
Lester, get in the car. You're driving. You two, stay put. You, get on the back. I'll tell you how we do this. Get his gun, Lester. Hey, girls. You don't want to leave without saying goodbye now, do you?
It's just not fair, Mr. Jones, going back to prison. We already played there.
Well, look at it this way, Ruby. They liked you so much, they want a repeat performance.
Take care, Lester. And I meant what I said about being our manager when we get out. Any ideas?
I'll work on it, Pearl. I'll work on it.
Here, what's your name?
You know something, Barnaby? I bet you he waits for those girls to get out.
The way that pair operates, he may not have too long to wait.
Barnaby Jones, a Quinn Martin production. Starring Buddy Epson. Also starring Lee Merriweather, Mark Shera. With guest stars Mark Jenkins, Laurie Prang, Michael Vasilione, Richard O'Brien. Tonight's episode, The Inside Man.
As soon as this is tallied, you fellas have another pickup to make at the sports arena.
I keep my mind on business, Ralph. If those figures don't jibe, Mr. Dyer's going to keep us all here till midnight.
Oh, yeah. I guess I'd like a cup of coffee.
And don't be late tonight, Daddy. Mom's invited the Wilsons.
You tell her I'll be there by 7. Hi, Miss Longacre, how are you?
Oh, hi. How's it going, Robert?
It's Ralph.
Ralph, you taking a break, huh?
You get a little punchy in there sometimes.
Industrial fatigue. I read about it in a magazine. You gotta be careful of that.
Oh, industrial fatigue. Yeah. Maybe you're right.
Yeah, the way I see it, counting money all day long is like tightening the same bolt on an assembly line. The monotony could crack a guy up, you know what I mean?
Sounds like maybe you ought to talk to the boss for us about getting more vacation time.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Casey Price in there. No, but be sure to give me time to get this card back.
Breathe. Now, everybody on their feet and put your hands on top of your heads. Come on. You, come here. Open the door. No, with your other hand. That's right. Come here. Go back. Back up, sweetheart.
You, fill up this bag. With the bags. I got to get a cup for Kathy.
You!
Silent alarm.
Let's get out of here. Anybody makes a move after us, it's dead.
Wait for me. There's a little change of plans, kid. You're gonna get your cut right now.
Ralph, what happened?
And did anyone call the police? One of my men's doing it. There were two of them, Mr. Longacre. Looks like Ralph stopped this one.
The money. It's all here.
You took a terrible chance, Ralph, going after an armed man.
You mean you did this? He sure did. Ralph's a real hero.
As chief of security for Longacre, it's my job that's on the line, Barnaby. The company's off the hook. The robbery failed. The money's recovered. The only one that's going to wind up holding the bag is me.
Well, Joe, In the 30 years that we've known each other, I've never heard of anyone questioning your integrity.
I don't think it's a matter of integrity that Longacre's questioning. It's more like my competence.
What about the police? Do they think it was an inside job also?
Well, they haven't labeled it as such. But since my security people are the only ones that are supposed to have the key cards that would open that fire door, I can't blame them for thinking so.
You stand behind your people?
The FBI couldn't have done a better job of screening them than I did. They're clean. I'd stake my career on any one of them. I guess I have.
I take it you've accounted for all the key cards that were issued?
Well, they're signed out when a man comes on duty. They're signed in when they go off.
Nevertheless, it would be a simple matter for somebody to slip one out during the day and get a duplicate made.
Well, that's a possibility, Barnaby. But I'm hoping that you can dig up some information pointing away from any of my men.
What about Mr. Longacre? Is he going to mind having a private detective snooping around?
Well, frankly, yes. But he doesn't want his board of directors wagging a finger at him in case it turns out that everybody but me has been on the wrong track. How about it, Barnaby? Would you look into it?
I think you already know the answer to that, Joe. I'll give you a call later.
Yes?
Ralph Alcott, sir. You invited me over this afternoon?
Drive on up, Ralph.
Is it on fire?
Oh, hello. No, it's one of those hoses. Probably the radiator, too.
Look like Old Faithful there for a minute. Come on. We'll take care of it later. Here he is, Dad.
Ralph? Ralph, I'd like you to meet my wife, Nora. Ralph Alcott.
Very pleased to meet you, Mrs. Longacre.
Ralph, I've been looking forward to it.
I bet you've seen all the newspapers. All about one man's courage. It'd be nice if they could make a serum out of it and give a shot to everybody in the country.
Wouldn't it, though?
Well, Dad, aren't you going to tell him?
Give me a chance. Ralph, you probably know there's been an opening for some time now for a new assistant to the chief accountant.
It's yours, Ralph. Dad's promoting you for what you did.
Oh, hey, wait a minute.
That is the trouble with women. You know, they will never let you tell a punchline. There'll be a raise in it for you, too. There. At least I got that in.
Well, whatever it is, I'm sure you're still being underpaid.
Look, I really didn't expect...
A word to the wise, Ralph. Never give Martin a chance to change his mind.
They're always ganging up on me.
Chris, maybe Ralph would like a drink before lunch?
Oh, I'd better do something about my car.
Oh, don't worry about it. Dad, you can have someone take care of Ralph's car, can't you? One of the hoses broke or something.
Oh, no problem. Andy's coming over from the motor pool. He can fix yours just as well as mine.
See? How about some tennis after lunch?
Oh, I'm afraid I'm not very good.
Seems like a nice young man, doesn't he?
It's funny. You know, he's worked for me for over 2 years. I hardly ever took notice of him before.
His name is Gully, Leo Gully, out of Boston. Was released 6 weeks ago from a Massachusetts state penitentiary, robbery, ADW, grand theft auto.
Did a rap sheet or a portfolio?
Sounds like you came west looking for greener pastures. What about the man who got away?
A witness from across the street said she saw him jump into the back seat of a car and take off. Too far away to get a license number.
Back seat, and there was a driver.
Mm-hmm. It means there were at least 4 in on it.
Driver makes 3. How do you figure 4?
You figure an inside man?
Probably somebody on the security force.
Now, wait a minute, John. You don't want to back yourself into that corner, do you?
Joe Montgomery is my friend, too. I don't want to see him hurt, but there is no way those two could have gotten into that place without some inside help.
I'm inclined to agree, but I'm also remembering that a lot of other people work in that building besides Joe's security force.
All right. Only the others aren't issued key cards.
Okay, John. If I get anything, I'll give you a call.
You know, for an ex-con only 6 weeks out of the Massachusetts Slammer, this Gully character sure connected fast. And with heavyweights yet.
Glad to see you've been paying attention.
Well, how do you figure it?
Well, since I'm not clairvoyant, I'm going to have to go to the streets for information.
Well, all you have to do is point me in the right direction.
Problem is, the informant that I'm thinking of is hard to find. Did I ever tell you about my friend, the professor?
So Pete told Lois she better stick her head out of that ivory tower of hers and see what's going on in the world. Well, you should have heard what Lois said. What?
Oh, yeah, that's mine right over there. It's loaded with charm. And peeling stucco.
Well, from here, all I can see is the charm.
Inside, it's even worse. I'd ask you in, but,
Well, it's been a long day, Ralph. A nice day. Maybe we better say goodnight.
yeah. I guess we just didn't meet, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
I have been noticing you for a long time, though.
Well, where was I during all that?
Not noticing me. Calling me, Robert.
Robert? I'm sorry.
No, don't be. I like Robert better.
Okay, Robert.
Well, thanks for the lift home and everything.
When you get your car fixed, you can do the same for me one day. Well, good night, Robert. Sleep well.
Hello?
Hey, you kid. How you doing? Been trying to get you all day.
Who's this?
Roy! Who is this? Hey, I saw your picture in the paper. You look great.
What do you want? Another shot at killing me?
Oh, come on, pal. What happened was strictly Gully's ID. I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, sure.
No, it's the truth, Ralph. Listen. Gully was afraid you'd crack up under all that questioning. He deserved what he got. And on top of that, you wind up a gold-plated hero. So maybe it's all for the best after all. Huh?
Hey, look, do us both a favor, okay? Don't ever call me here again, okay?
Oh, would you rather I call Longacre or the cops? And tell them how that side door got opened?
What do you want?
That's better. We're going in again.
In? Oh, wait a minute, that's crazy.
We'll talk about that tomorrow. I'll call you.
Good morning, Mr. Longacre.
Joe?
Mr. Longacre, this is the private investigator, Barnaby Jones.
Oh, yes, Mr. Jones.
How do you do?
I'm putting out a memo to have all of our people cooperate in every way possible.
Well, thank you very much. In my business, sometimes cooperation is as good as a clue.
It's terrible to think that one of my own people could have been involved in this. But if that is the case, then we've certainly got to know. For everyone's sake.
If you heard a funny noise, that was my pension going down the drain.
Kathy, you mind if I check your totals?
I'm really very happy for you, Ralph.
Listen, you deserve much more credit than you've been given. Pushing that alarm button like you did.
Ralph, see a minute?
Sure.
Barnaby Jones, Ralph Olcott. Ralph, my pleasure. Heard a lot about you. Barnaby's a private detective looking into the robbery.
Oh, more questions?
If you don't mind. I read the police report, but I always like to get some of the facts myself.
Well, there's not much I can tell you about the robbery. I wasn't there.
To the company's great good fortune, as it turned out.
I just came out of the lunchroom and I looked and I saw these two masked men.
At the elevator, you said?
Yeah. And then one of them came at me.
That's the part that puzzles me. Why, when they had a chance for a clean getaway, did Gully, that's the man you shot, chase you so far out of his way?
Because, well, because he figured I could recognize him, I guess.
Well, how could you recognize either of them if they had their masks on?
Oh, sure. You're right. They had their masks off.
Both of them?
Then you must have gotten a look at Gully's partner. You didn't tell that to the police.
No, this Gully had his mask off, not the other one.
Well, if you got it all sorted out, Ralph, are you sure?
Look, Mr. Jones, I'll level with you. I've been in a fog ever since this thing happened. They tell me I'm a hero, but the truth is I'm not. I hardly even remember shooting this guy, much less the details leading up to it.
That's understandable, Ralph. Thank you very much.
Hey, if it isn't the big hero. How's it going, kid?
Lousy. Ever since I let you talk me into this mess.
It didn't take much talking, remember? We checked you out real good before we ever made a move on you. You said you hated the job, you wanted to shake loose, make a score. Now it's all still there.
Yeah, but robbing Longacres again is dumb.
Ralph, that's the beauty of it. They won't be expecting us.
Us? Gully's dead. What do you mean, us?
Easy. Nobody's asking you to do anything different. I already got another guy. Only thing we got to worry about is when.
No. One thing I'm not going to do. I'm not going to risk getting a hold of another key card. Now, that's for sure.
What about hitting the loading dock before they put the money inside and when there are no other trucks around?
For crying out loud, I don't have that kind of information.
Get it. They trust you. I've been reading the budget promotion. So find a way and get it.
And if I don't, what are you going to do? Turn me in? Well, that works the other way around, too, you know.
Except for one thing, Turkey. I got lots of friends and lots of places to hide. I can keep running forever. But how about you? You really want to give up this good life you're into now? It's nice, isn't it?
All right.
Look, I know receipts from night ball games always come in late. There's one scheduled for tomorrow night. You call me when you find out the time it's due in, okay?
Okay, just get away from me. Get out of here.
I'll be at the Ruxton Hotel Room 218, waiting for your call.
Did he go for it?
Yeah, he'll go for it.
What are you doing here?
A girl named Kathy at the office said she saw you headed this way for lunch. And I thought that... That guy trying to mug you or something?
No, he was just looking for directions. Where are you headed?
Headed? I was looking for you. It's my father's birthday tomorrow. Mother and I are planning to surprise him with a dinner out.
I'm sure he'll like that.
And I get to bring somebody. I'm asking you.
Me? Dinner? You mean tomorrow night?
Well, unless, of course, you have other plans. It's just family, Ralph. I'd really like you to be there with me.
Tomorrow night, huh? Sure, I'd love it.
Oh, terrific.
Can't do any better than that. Well, thank you, my good man. And do call again.
See, Barnaby, I told you I could find the professor.
Barnaby, I've been looking forward to your visit. How about 5 again, son?
You're on.
Take the pilot seat.
Professor, don't you know it's against the law to gamble?
But gambling holds none of the hazards of breaking the unwritten law against snitching on bad dudes. Like the late Mr. Gully and his friends.
In some cases, snitching on bad dudes is good for the soul as well as the pocketbook.
If you think throwing the point will lull me, you're mistaken.
Listen, I was weaned in pool rooms. I'm not gonna get hustled over one of these things.
Gully and his friends, what do you got?
Well, at the moment, only scorn.
For a name and address, what would it take to overcome your understandable repugnance?
Great number of toll calls, if you follow my meaning. You know, false confidence is going to trip you up every time.
If you're asking, would I pick up the phone bill, how about a couple of long ones? Would that cover it?
Quite nicely.
One now and the rest when the information is forthcoming.
You know, I'm going to tell you a little secret, son. Half my opponents claim they were weaned in a pool room. This is the age of computers.
Bye-bye. Oh, you might as well turn around and head right back out again. That was the professor.
He come up with something?
Well, according to his sources, an ex-con named of Artie Moss connected with, well, as he put it, a heavy dude who sounds very much like he might be the other man in the Longacre robbery attempt.
Is there any clue to where he's staying?
Only that Moss has been seen around a Hotel Ruxton near Echo Park.
Let's go.
What's wrong with going out sometimes? Having a little fun.
A driver's license, Massachusetts prison parole card, and a few dollars is all we found on the body.
Can't win them all, can you?
How come you're so interested in this Artie Moss, anyway?
Chip thought it might be a new man in that crowd that Gully ran with.
Have you checked his hotel room?
Moss isn't registered. Manager says he's been visiting lately with a couple in room 218, Mr. and Mrs. Norton.
They have anything to say?
No. Seems they hightailed it out before my men got here.
Think they had anything to do with the shooting?
No. A witness said she saw a man she didn't recognize take off down the stairs just after it happened.
John, might not be a bad idea to get out an APB on the Nortons. It could be what's left of the gang that hit Longacre Security.
I'm ahead of you on that one. Already have.
I don't know. It doesn't add up. Why would the gang have a falling out if they didn't get any money to fight over?
Yeah, and if you're right about this, Barnaby, it's also interesting that they're still around recruiting new talent.
Kind of makes you wonder what their plans are.
How did you get in here?
Keys to your car. It was fixed, so I thought I'd drive it over. My God, Ralph, what are you doing with the gun?
It's my father's. I just got it out of the pawn shop. I didn't even have the money till now. I thought you were a burglar.
You're in some kind of trouble, aren't you?
Look, things happen. Things, if you just turn back the clock, you'd never...
What are you talking about? Will you just tell me?
Hello?
You know what I'm gonna do to you, you slob? I'm gonna make oatmeal out of your brains.
I don't care what you say to me. You can't scare me anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah, I know, you're a hero. So I'm gonna do you a favor. You're gonna stay alive, hero, if you tell me what time they're gonna make that night money delivery.
I'm warning you, get off my back. I got a gun. You try anything, I'll use it. What are you doing?
Calling my father, you need help.
No!
Then please just tell me. Let me help you. Just tell me what's going on. Please.
Go back home, Chris. Go on back to your nice, clean, pretty world.
I like you. I like you very much. You're not going to turn me away.
God, you're beautiful.
Please. Does it have something to do with that robbery you stopped?
It's no use. He's gonna try to kill me.
Who's gonna try to kill you?
That guy that I shot, Gully. That was his partner on the phone. He said he's gonna kill me for what I did.
Then there's only one thing to do. Go to the police right now.
Oh, what good will that do? I mean, he knows me. He knows where I live. Before the cops even find out who they're looking for, I'll be dead.
Well, what about that private detective my father hired, Mr. Jones? You're gonna stay at our house tonight. I'll have Daddy call him first thing in the morning. Please.
No, Mr. Jones. I just don't like the idea of going to the police for protection. I mean, how long can they protect me? It can't last forever.
Don't worry, Ralph. You're welcome to stay here with us as long as it's necessary.
Puzzling that a thief would risk his own safety for revenge like this.
Yeah, you would think he'd do himself a lot more good just by cooling it somewhere.
Or maybe this Gully was his relative or something.
I think that's worth looking into, don't you, Mr. Jones?
Yes, and something else I want to check out. Bill Hummel, the security guard, is he on duty today?
I believe so. But you've already talked to him, haven't you?
I've talked to everybody, and I left with one fact, that in addition to Ralph, Hummel was the only other person who was alone at the time of the robbery.
I'd like to know more about this myself. I'll go with you.
Ralph, You'd probably be safer in a crowd. Why don't you come along?
There's Rob in the third car. But I don't see the girl.
Well, Longacre's with him, too. That's perfect. You wait 10 minutes, then you make the call.
Hello?
The Longacre residence?
Yes?
This is the police dispatcher, Dwyer Division. Our unit is just radioed a 640 traffic accident at Sunset and Willoughby.
Oh, no, an accident?
One of the victims, Martin Longacre, has been injured and is being rushed to Central Receiving Hospital. He's asking for Chris.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Come on, get out of the car.
What?
Just come on.
What is it?
Don't say anything.
Damn it, Barnaby, we've been over all this ground before.
Joe, it was your idea to hire the private detective and let him do his job.
Sure, Mr. Jones. I was alone. Well, he's got a right to ask.
All right. You figure that all this is tied in with Bill's key card?
It's the only card that hasn't been accounted for at the time of the robbery.
Excuse me, Mr. Longacre. Your secretary's holding a call for you.
Tell her to take a number.
It's some man calling about Chris. Says it's urgent.
I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Mr. Hummel, you said that you keep your card in your jacket at all times.
Yes, sir. Right here. It's always with me.
When you're using the washroom to clean up, you probably take it off then.
Well, no. I usually push back my sleeves. I never take it off except...
Except when?
Except when I'm eating.
You weren't wearing it when you're having lunch?
No, I never do. I don't want to get any stains on it, you know?
Well, where do you usually keep it at that time?
Right there on the hanger.
With your back to it?
It's the ball game. Well, anybody could have lifted it.
Well, not just anybody. It would have to be a certain anybody who made 2 trips.
That's right. Second time to return the card.
Well, let me see. Joe, you were in and out a couple of times. And one of the girls, I can't remember which one. And Ralph, you came back to get Kathy a cup of coffee.
Coffee for me?
Sure. Right about at the time those guys hit the place. Huh, Ralph?
Sure. But don't you remember?
No, not really. But if you say so.
Hello?
Dad.
Chris, you sound funny. Is something wrong?
Dad, do what the man says or he's gonna hurt me.
Chris? Chris?
Longacre, you have any doubt that was your daughter?
Who is this? What have you done to Chris?
Shut up and listen. Go to your vault and put $250,000 in a bag. You've got a half an hour, so that won't give you time to mark the bills. In a single car with the money, go north from the freeway along the Arroyo Canyon Road until the car is stopped. You got that?
I can't possibly get the money all together and drive there in half an hour.
I'm allowing you an extra 20 minutes for the trip, and you're not driving. I want somebody I can recognize.
And who?
That kid whose picture's been in all the papers, Ralph Olcott. Him I'd recognize. Okay?
Hey, Andy, listen. Make sure that thing doesn't lock on me, huh? Looks okay.
You sure you're going to fit in that trunk?
No, it shouldn't be any problem. You think Ralph Walcott's the inside man, huh?
Sure beginning to look that way, but we got no definite proof to go on. That's the reason he's not going to know you're in the back.
Barnaby.
How many speed laws did you break getting here?
Well, I stopped counting halfway here. Here are your walkie-talkies. New batteries and all.
Now, Jedediah, ground rules. No heroics. Just keep sending locations. That's all. You understand?
You're the boss. Just remember that these things don't carry very far.
I'll be within your range.
Well, Barnaby, I also have a message for you from Lieutenant Biddle. They found latent prints at that hotel belonging to a Roy Swain, an ex-con and parole violator.
What did this Swain serve time for?
Armed robbery. Before that, extortion and attempted murder.
It's all here.
Now, Mr. Longacre, before we start, I want to advise you once again.
No police. Now, the company has my personal check for the money. It's nobody's business but mine, and until I get Chris back safely, the police stay out.
Your daughter comes first, that's for sure. But the man who did the kidnapping and the one who is threatening you, Ralph, I believe is one and the same.
Yes, I know. But I want to go anyway.
Well, we'll try to see that nothing goes wrong. But I'll need about 3 or 4 minutes after you make contact. See if you can find a way to stall him for that long.
Okay.
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Longacre, we will do whatever is necessary.
Barnaby, we just stopped. I can't see much, though. Barnaby, there's a sawhorse blocking the road where we turned off to the right.
That sounds like the quarry. If so, it's a dead end.
The road's bottomed out. I get the feeling we're gonna stop.
I'm moving in, JR. Find a phone, call Lieutenant Biddle.
I don't know. He must pay something for that jerk to commit suicide over. Well, then I'll see how much your daddy loves you.
Okay, open the doors. And I don't want to see anything in there except a bag of money.
Chris, are you okay?
Yes.
All right, bring it over.
I want to talk first.
About what?
You know, this is chicken feed compared to what's still in Longacre's vault. There's 5 or 6 million. We could still pull it off. How about it?
Ralph, what are you talking about?
What's in the bag will do me fine. Just put it up there.
Okay, let her go.
I want to see it first.
It's all there. Chris, go to the car.
You gotta be dreaming.
Now, you made a deal. Let her go.
The only trouble is she can identify us. Oh, you walk right into this.
Chris, run!
Run!
Hold it!
Hey!
Where's that ambulance, anyway?
It'll be here in a minute. But from the looks of him, I don't think he'll even make it to the hospital.
Did you tell Chris I was just stalling for time, like he said?
Yes, Ralph, I told her.
Ralph? You all right, Chris?
Thanks to you.
I don't know what they told you, but I just wanted to know.
Don't try and talk now.
I won't have another chance.
Sure you will. You'll be out of the hospital in no time.
Just wish we could have met before all this.
So do I.
Barnaby Jones, a Quinn Martin production, starring Buddy Ebsen, also starring Lee Merriweather, Mark Shera, with guest stars Kathleen Beller, Lyndon Childs, Richard Evans, Victoria Thompson, Randy Powell. Tonight's episode, Runaway to Terror.
Julie. I didn't know you were still up.
I was just getting a book to read.
Well, certainly have a lot to choose from. Look, Julie, I'm sorry about what I said about your shaping up and setting a better example for your sister. Well, you know how I am when I lose my temper. I tend to say things I don't mean.
Yeah, I know.
Not that you didn't say a few unkind things yourself. There's one thing you got from your mother. It's her temper. Anyway, I'm glad I got a chance to apologize. It's no good going to bed on top of an argument. Good night, Princess. Get a good night's sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
trouble?
No, not really. Steve? I got them.
Hey, look at that. Now, Julie, I told you, you didn't have to.
Look, I wanted to. My father owes me something, doesn't he?
Okay. Just remember, babe, it's you I want.
Oh, you've got me. Forever and ever.
Better get out of here before your old man finds you gone.
What are we stopping here for?
Oh, my car's inside with all my stuff in it. I don't want to leave it behind in case they start checking on us.
You're a hard man to find, Steve. But like I told Mr. Whalen, you want him, I'll find him. That's what I'm real good at.
Look, I wasn't trying to run out on you. That's the truth. You go tell Mr. Whalen.
I don't tell Mr. Whalen nothing. He tells me. And he tells me I better come back with those 12 G's you owe him. Or not come back at all.
Marty, all I need is a little more time. What's a few more hours, huh? A few more hours, I promise.
Your promises won't buy garbage.
This time it's different. Look, I met this chick. Her father's loaded. This girl thinks I'm in love with her. It's gonna be like taking candy from a baby.
Listen, punk, you can go with me easy, or I'll break you in half and carry the pieces up. It's all up to you.
What a lovely young lady.
Yes. Fortunately, both my daughters got their mother's looks. She died just over a year ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You say that Julie had run away before.
Just after my wife's death. She and her mother are always very close, so I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. Plus my efforts at trying to raise a headstrong young teenager.
How did you handle it that time?
Dad called the cops.
They found her eventually and brought her home, of course. I tried talking to her about it, but ended up in an argument. She said I didn't understand her because I was away so much.
Is that true?
Yes, I'm afraid so. My business takes me all over the world. That's just the way it is.
Why didn't you call the police this time?
Well, Julie turned 18 a few months ago. She's no longer a child. I must say I'm more worried about her this time than I've ever been before.
What kind of the jewelry?
Well, she found out where I kept the combination to the safe. Now, I don't give a damn about the jewelry. It belonged to her mother. I was going to give it to her anyway when she turned 21, but the fact that she took it, it's not like her to steal.
How much jewelry was there?
I think the insurance value is about $60,000.
Yeah, there's quite a bit for a young lady to be carrying with her.
Well, I'm afraid somebody else might think so, too.
Do you have any close friends that you might have gone to?
Mr. Jones, I would be the last one to know about Julie's friends.
How about you, Melinda?
Well, Julie doesn't have a lot of friends, except for me, but I'm her sister. Hey, wait. There was this one girl. Julie had her over a couple of times to swim. She seemed to like her a lot.
You recall her name?
Gloria. Gloria Hanley. She works at that health club Julie started going to when she went on that diet.
What's the name of the club?
Jupiter. It's that big one on Wilshire.
Oh, come on, Julie. I told you nobody followed us.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
You're not going to tell anybody where I am, are you?
Not even if they torture me.
Welcome to the Garden of Elysium. I'm Brother Love, and this is my assistant, Sister Felicity.
I'm the person who...
No, please, don't tell me. You're the young lady who called about a friend. And you're that friend, desiring a place of peace and tranquility.
How did you know which one of us?
The mind is nothing more than a transmitter of emotion, sending out vibrations of love, hate, anger, joy. Over the years, I've trained myself to receive these vibrations, interpret them, change those that need changing, and then return them to the sender, thus giving birth to a more positive and happy life force.
And, my vibrations?
Sadness, much confusion, a bundle of nerves ready to explode. Now, don't worry. You've come to the right place. The very name Elysium means the ideal state of happiness.
Brother Love, I only heard about your retreat from a friend of a friend, but I understand there is some kind of charge.
Yes, I'm afraid even pure air costs money these days, but I assure you it's nothing more than the heart force is willing to give. Sister?
You said on the phone you'd be needing a ride back to town?
Yes.
Brother Free,
Yes.
would you mind giving this young lady a ride back to L.A.?
Not at all.
Well, take care of yourself, Julie, and if you need anything, call me.
Thank you so much.
Sister Felicity, if you'll be good enough to show Julie to the House of Hope, I'll take these bags.
I'll take this one, thank you.
Of course. Sister dear, perhaps we'd better give our new guest something to help her relax.
Well, no drugs. I'm not into that.
Julie, we have no drugs here, no drugs at all. Only nature's medicine. You mustn't worry.
Mr. Jones, I'm Gloria Hanley. Shirley said you wanted to speak to me?
Yes, I did.
Well, if you're interested in becoming a member, we have several plans that might be right for you.
Yes, I'm sure you do, but the only thing I'm interested in right now is the whereabouts of Julie Enright. I'm a private investigator, and this is my associate, Jedediah Jones.
Did you know she was missing?
No, of course not. How would I?
Well, according to her sister, you and she are good friends.
We had lunch a couple of times, but we're hardly what you call really close. Julie's a nice kid.
When was the last time you talked to her?
It's been weeks, maybe longer.
Well, then how come Shirley told us that she tried to call you here twice last night?
Well, if she did, she didn't get me because I was off.
Didn't she call you at home?
No, she didn't. Anyway, Julie's 18. She's got a right to leave home without her father hiring a private detective to drag her back.
Gloria, for her own sake, if you know where Julie is, it might help her if you told us.
I'm sorry. I didn't even know she was gone.
Well, if you do get any information, would you please call me?
I will. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to get back to work.
She's covering, Barnaby. She knows something.
You're probably right, Jedediah. We'll keep an eye on her.
Mm-hmm.
If she wakes up.
Not a chance. I gave her enough to keep her out all night.
There's nothing in here but some clothes.
Well, this was the bag that she was so concerned about. Well, now I see why. Lovely.
Do you think these have something to do with that blood on the fender?
Oh, no, it's possible. Maybe they even belong to her.
Are you kidding? They must be worth a fortune.
So's Julie. According to her ID, in case of emergency, notify her father, Douglas Enright.
Is he somebody?
Just a man worth millions.
No. No. I didn't mean to kill him. Oh, no, I didn't mean to.
Sister dear, get the tape recorder. Bring it here. I believe we found ourselves the goose that lays the golden egg.
Nothing. Well, Barnaby, it's as if we never talked to her this morning. He's just over there, doesn't seem to have a care in the world.
Somehow I expected more than that.
Well, maybe I was wrong. If Gloria's telling the truth, we're just wasting our time following her.
Jedediah, sometimes in this business, you have to stick with your first instincts. Besides, Betty has struck out on all those names in Julie's address book.
What about the pawn shops?
I checked. Consensus is that she's going to have a tough time hawking that much jewelry.
Well, looks like Gloria's still our link, huh?
Yeah, sure does.
She's leaving.
Maybe you better go see where to.
Keep driving nice and easy.
Steve, what are you doing here?
Where's Julie?
How should I know?
You're her best friend. She trusts you.
I don't know where she is.
You're lying.
Honest, Steve. A private detective came by today asking the same thing.
Did he ask about me?
No. I told him I hadn't seen her in about a month. That's the truth, Steve.
It better be. Or you're gonna be real sorry.
What's this all about?
Never mind. You hear from her, I want to know about it right away. Understand?
Of course.
Oh, sure, I know her. That's Julie. Oh, a real sweet girl. Kind of lost and lonely, though.
Did she ever come in here with a boyfriend?
You know, the secret of the success of this business is that I am deaf, dumb, and blind.
Sadie, it's very important that we find her.
Well, she was seeing a guy by the name of Steve Benter. With any luck at all, it won't last very long.
Why? What kind of a guy is he?
You heard of Mr. Right? Steve was Mr. Wrong. I bet he owes every gambler in this town. You know what I mean?
When was the last time you saw him?
Earlier this evening, as a matter of fact. Came in here looking for Julie. Very, very anxious to find her.
Did he mention why?
No. And I didn't ask.
Sadie, you happen to know where Benter lives?
He moves around a lot. Like I said, he's a real winner.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, why don't you come back sometime and I'll buy you a milk, big fella.
Sounds like an idea.
Okay, what next, big fella?
All gamblers have to place bets now and then. I think it's time we interviewed some bookies.
You unlock the door? Do you hear me? Will you get out of my way? You let me out of here. Did you hear me? I want to speak to Brother Love.
Sufficient rest is essential. That'll be all, brother.
What did you do with my jewelry?
We believe that worldly possessions such as jewels can only stand in the way of true peace.
Will
and
you come
happiness.
on?
That's why I've taken them from
You mean stolen them from me?
If you wish. That's the way you want to see it. That's the way you got them in the first place, isn't it? From your father's safe.
How? Why do you think that?
I know a lot about you, Julie. Like what happened at the garage the other night, how you ran over a man and killed him. And I've got it all right here in your own sweet voice.
How?
Under sedation, people do give away their secrets.
What are you going to do with that?
You're a very lovely young lady, and you've got a very wealthy father. I think this ought to be worth a large amount of money, considering what might happen to his daughter and his reputation if it should go to the police instead.
Please, you can keep the jewelry.
Thank you. I'd planned to. And when your father endows our little retreat, you can go. You're free.
How do I know?
Julie, you've got to learn to trust me. My brother Love, remember? Not a common criminal.
I don't get it. They blew it to the Knicks by 4. They lost to the Celtics by 8. And Vegas picks them to win by 3. How? Why? What do they know? If you don't see it, it's 2-1 we ain't got it.
Are you Sammy?
No, I'm Paul Newman. I like spending my time in this here box.
Listen, I was wondering if you could help me.
You follow basketball?
Chicago Bulls. It's my hometown.
Well, we all got to come from someplace. I don't figure it. Those Vegas people picked the Lakers to win by 3 tonight. Me, I don't see it.
Would you?
I gotta call it a toss-up.
I was thinking that maybe.
Okay. I give up. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a guy named Steve Benter.
The lost and found department's on the 4th floor.
Well, now, I've heard that he places some of his bets with you.
Places bets?
Yeah.
I sell newspapers, magazines.
Okay. I'll take one of each.
You a cop?
No, I'm a guy with a pocket full of markers, all signed by Benter.
Join the club.
You too, huh?
No, not in your life. When I deal with punks like Benter, strictly cash up front. But I hear you're not the only one looking for him. Word is there's some real heavyweights on his tail.
You have any idea where I can find him?
You want a lifetime subscription?
Wait right here. I'll be right back.
Sure hope you got lucky because I didn't.
Barnaby, I almost have it. Give me another 20.
20? I just gave you 50.
Yeah, but you wouldn't believe the price of magazines these days.
I hope you don't run into a bookie who sells real estate.
to Sammy. Bent to rent a room on the second floor. Doesn't look like there's anybody home, Barnaby.
Let's take a look inside.
All right, how about if I start in here, boss?
Okay. Clothes are still here. I'm glad to see you haven't moved.
Barnaby, take a look at this.
What do you got?
Get down!
Melinda, where you going?
I'm going to get the mail. I'll be right back. I heard what he said. Taking candy from a baby. I was driving off, and a man came running out of the garage. It was too late. I hit him, and he fell. I killed him. I killed him. I drove off. Just drove off.
That's it.
She sounds like she's in a fog. Maybe she was drugged or something.
Not her normal speaking voice.
When did this arrive, Melinda?
What's in the mailbox when I went to get the mail this morning?
And then the call came in about a half an hour after that. It was a man's voice. Very distant. Very calm. It was strange.
How much did he say he wanted?
$200,000, ready by noon tomorrow. I asked him about Julie. All he would say is that she was all right and that he would be in touch with me later.
On the tape, Julie mentioned something about a garage. Any idea where that might be?
No.
Well, we'll check and see if there have been any reports of hit-and-run accidents.
Barnaby, maybe we should let Lieutenant Biddle know about this.
The police?
Sooner or later, we're going to have to let them in on the fact that Julie may have been involved in a car accident. That kind of information you can't withhold forever.
But we don't even know if that's true. If she was drugged, that might be a lie. Seems to me the most important thing right now is to find out where she is and get to her.
Can you raise the money?
Yes, without any trouble.
If you'll take my advice, Mr. Enright, you'll stall as long as possible and insist on talking to Julie. Once you pay the money, you may never see your daughter again.
All right. But I want you to work as fast as you possibly can. There isn't much time.
I know.
Here we are. Marty Coleman. This is as close as I can come to a hit and run on the night you're talking about. It's a rap sheet. There's a coroner's report.
Enforcer for the bookies.
Last we heard, he was collecting on bad markers for Sid Whalen, one of the bigger gamblers in town.
Yeah, we're looking for a guy who was hit by a car, not by a cannon. This joker was blown away by a .38 caliber slug.
He was also hit by a car. A little further down where it lists abrasions on the body.
Fractures on the lower torso due to impact from heavy object as if hit by a car.
That's it. There's also skid marks found near the body.
Which means it could have been hit by the car after he was shot.
That's right, because according to this, somebody reported hearing shots inside the garage, but the car hit him outside.
Barnaby, this client you're working for, is he connected with this?
Could be.
Care to give me a name?
I will, just as soon as I'm sure, Lieutenant.
Give you 24 hours. Then sure or not, I want in on it.
You got it.
Doing court. You finish, leave that stuff on the desk. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Well, what about it, Barnaby? Muscle for a top gambler and a loser like better. Sounds like a shootout at the UK Corral to me.
Well, we know Bender's trigger happy.
Yeah, but what I still don't understand is why Julie thinks that she killed this guy Coleman.
I know, but one thing is for sure. If Julie was there, she witnessed the whole thing. Let's go.
I told you, Mr. Jones, I don't know where Julie is.
I think you do.
But you're wrong. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Gloria, this is no longer a case of a young lady running away from home. Julie thinks that she killed someone. That's the reason she's hiding out.
What do you mean?
Look, we don't have all the facts yet, but the night that Julie ran away, she might have hit somebody with her car. A guy named Marty Coleman, who's a collector for a local gambler, only she didn't kill him. He'd already been shot.
By who?
We have a good hunch it was Steve Benter, Julie's boyfriend.
Steve?
Yes, that's right. Have you seen him?
Yes. He's looking for Julie, too.
Well, if he finds her before we do, she may be in serious trouble.
Look, Gloria, if you're any kind of a friend of Julie's, you're gonna stop covering for her and tell us where she is.
All right. I drove her to a retreat outside of Elm Ridge. The Garden of Elysium. She's in the House of Hope.
I brought you something to eat.
What, bread and water?
No. Wild berries, fresh organic vegetables, everything that's good for you.
Good for me. Like keeping me locked up here?
Just as soon as your father pays the money, Brother Love will let you go. Until then, we'll try to make you as comfortable as possible. Look, even a flower to decorate your table.
It's very pretty.
Flowers have a way of changing bad vibrations into good ones. No harm done.
Could you please help me?
What?
I saw you yesterday when I arrived. I had a car. Do you have any idea where they put it?
Just be sure you got it straight now. I don't want any kind of mix-up. You'll be waiting in the ravine to pick up the money.
What about the girl?
Girl? We may have to arrange an eternal peace for the girl. Maybe you better look in on her. Sister Felicity's been gone a long time.
All right.
Excuse me, could you please give me a ride into town?
Oh, I can. The company doesn't like us to pick up riders.
Well, I won't tell if you don't. I mean, I've had it up to here with all this peace and quiet, and I thought maybe if I could get into town and have a little fun, get it on, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but...
Oh, come on, friend. I bet you know where I could get a little action.
Well, I get off in a few hours.
Well, then what are we waiting for?
Hop in.
You're doing beautifully. Just keep at it. That's all it takes. Excuse me a minute, please. Jupiter Health Club, may I help you?
Gloria, this is Julie.
Julie, where are you?
I ran away. That place was horrible. They were keeping me prisoner.
Hey, what? Well, where are you now?
I'm in Elmridge, but I don't have my car or anything. I really need help. Can you come and pick me up?
Oh, sure. Just a few minutes.
There's a park on Laurel and Spring, Grant Park. I'll wait here for you.
Grant Park in Elmridge. Okay, I'll see you in about an hour or so. Bye. Shirley, will you cover for me? Something important's come up. I've got to go.
Barnaby, there's one right over there.
Take a look.
You know, they're not going to just let us walk right in there and take her.
Jedediah, I think the time has come for you and me to part company. I'll try to keep it busy for you.
Okay.
If she is gone, her father won't want that tape in the hands of the police.
I don't like it, brother. I don't like it at all. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Garden of Elysium, dear friend. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, I understand that you people specialize in peace and love. And, as I always say, that's one thing the world could use a lot of, peace and love.
Yes, I quite agree with you.
So I thought I'd like to spend a few days up here, sort of get away from the hectic city pace. Everyone around here seems to be pretty peaceful.
Well, I hate to disappoint you, Mr.
Jones.
Jones. I'm sorry to say we're all filled up. If you'll excuse us.
Well, since I'm here, why don't I just take a look around and I know what to expect next time I come back?
We're very busy, sir. Very busy. If you'd like to make an appointment, I'm sure Brother Free can arrange for you to visit some other day.
What is that building right over there?
That's the building of divine meditation.
Is that a fact? And it looks like just an ordinary building.
What are you doing here?
Searching for buried treasure. Where's Julianne, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Come on, I'll explain it.
Mr. Jones, I read vibrations better than most men read newspapers, and your vibrations tell me you haven't come here seeking inner peace. I'd like you to leave immediately.
I'm not leaving without Julie Enright. I'm a private detective.
Enright? Julie Enright. I don't think I've ever heard of her. Have you, Brother Free?
No, and I'd say this man is trespassing.
Barnaby, I found this in there.
With her initials on it. Now, do you still say you don't know anything about her?
I don't know how they got in that house. Well, if you'd like to look around, if you'd like to look inside, go ahead. But then I want you both to leave.
Are you looking for the girl that was in the House of Hope?
Yes, you know where she is.
Sarah. Sarah, it's time for your meditation, isn't it?
Sarah, it is very important that we find Julie. It could save her life. Life is what it's all about, isn't it, Sarah?
She left with Dave.
Dave who?
He works at a laundry in Elm Ridge.
Thank you. Hi. Your name Dave?
Yeah, what about it?
I understand you gave a lift to a young lady out of the Garden of Elysium today.
No, you made a mistake, mister.
Come on, you were seen leaving there with her.
Hey, look. They're strict here about giving anyone a lift. I could lose my job for it.
Well, don't worry. We're not going to tell anybody, but it's very important that we find her.
Okay, so I gave her a ride. She said she was going buggy out there. Wanted to have a little fun.
Where'd you leave her?
I left her right outside of town.
Where outside of town?
Hey, look, what's this all about anyway?
It's a long story. Where is she?
She's waiting for me at the park on Spring.
Thank you very much.
Doesn't that look like Venter's car right there?
Sure does. Check it out. I'll take a look around.
JR?
Gloria, what are you doing?
It's Steve. He's after Julie.
Where are they?
They ran out toward those hills.
All right, look, Barnaby went that way. See if you can find him. Tell him where I've gone, okay?
Okay.
Now, I'm not gonna hurt you.
What do you want?
You shouldn't have run out of me that night, Julie.
Yeah, well, I heard you in the garage. You don't love me. You're just trying to use me.
Just told Marty that to get him off my back. I figured if I could get away from him, you and I could take off like we planned.
Well, then nothing's really changed. We can still go away.
You still got the jewels?
No, but I know where they are. I can get them. Well, Steve, it doesn't matter. My dad's rich, you know that. All I have to do is ask him for something and he'll give it to me.
Julie, I can't take that chance anymore. You're the only one who can connect me with Marty's murder.
You?
You killed that man?
As if you didn't know.
Spencer!
That's it, Bender!
Please, whoever you are, I want to go home.
I think your father would like that, Julie.
Julie. Oh, am I glad to see you.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry, too. I guess we all have a lot of growing up to do, me included.
Hi, Pumpkin.
Oh, Julie, I missed you so much. Dad and I were so worried.
You don't have to worry.
The police will be in touch with you about the recovery of the jewels.
They've located those people?
Mm-hmm. Brother Love and his pals are in custody, and chances are they'll spend the next few years in prison.
Thank you. I don't really know what else to say.
You just said it.
Thank you.
Take care of those two. You're a very lucky man.
Yes, I am. Shall we go?
You know, Barnaby, JR and I are lucky, too. That's why we've decided to take much better care of you in the future.
That's right, so take the rest of the day off, boss.
Well, that takes care of how Betty gets to the dress sale in Beverly Hills. But what are you planning to do with the rest of the afternoon you just gave me off?
Well, since I'll have nothing to do, I figured I'd spend it with Gloria. You know, get a few tips on physical fitness, that kind of thing.
Fun, yeah, I had that same idea myself. But you go ahead.
No, you do it.
No, I don't mind.